A trip to the eye doctor helped inspire our next guest to see the world around her a little differently. Gretchen Rubin has been researching happiness for decades, trying to help others lead their most fulfilling lives. But when confronted with potentially losing her sight, she shifted her lens onto the importance of our five senses: seeing, but also hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Honing in on all the things we may take for granted can really boost and enrich your life. So Gretchen Rubin is here to help explain how. Great to have you in studio.
I'm so happy to be talking to you.
So I love this. It started with pink eye.
Yes.
And it ended with this book here, Life in Five Senses.
It was a journey.
It was a journey. Take us through the journey and how it came about, why you honed in on these senses.
Well, you're exactly right. I had a bad case of pink eye, and I went to the eye doctor. And while I was there, he said very casually, like, well, come back because you know you're at more risk for losing your sight. And I was in shock. I did not know that. And it turns out that because I'm very nearsighted, I'm more at risk for having a detached retina, which can cost you your vision. And so this really shook me up. It made me realize I'm taking all of this for granted. When we have a loss or we fear that we have a loss, a lot of times it awakens us for all the things that we're taking for granted. That absolutely happened to me.
It's like the red flag, the alarm bells that you needed.
Yes, exactly. And then I was stuck in my head. I wasn't looking at anything. I wasn't engaging with the world. And I realized that that was sort of a missing piece in my study of happiness, was wanting this direct contact with the world, with other people, and with myself.
So here's how to do it. We'll go through some of the senses here, starting with sight. Yeah. You posted a video online. It involves candies and water. So what are we looking at here? Because for you, you said noticing color was a big thing.
I love color, and so this is a very easy exercise you can do with Skittles, which is a candy that we've all seen. And you just add warm water to it, and very slowly the color starts to bleed out, and it makes this beautiful pattern. And what I love about it is this is a kind of this kind of candy, sort of like that you just run it, you just see it everywhere. But when you really stop and look at it and explore it, you realize it just has these marvelous potential, and it just makes you stop and look at the world in a completely different way. And these are just very ordinary items.
I don't know that I've ever looked at Skittles and thought, this is how I'm going to connect with the world.
This is the possibility. Right, exactly. But then I will never look at a Skittle the same way the rest of my life.
You learned that just talking about sensory experiences is a great way to connect with people. So one of the tidbits that you shared, and I didn't know this, was that elephants can hear the movement of clouds.
Yes. Amazing, right? There's so much about our senses that we don't know, that we take for granted. So you can think about things like that, or even like if you're at a party and you don't know how to talk to somebody, you just say something like, the music here is great. What's the name of this song? Or have you tried the hors d'oeuvres? What's good? It's like we can connect with the senses because this is something that we all experience and are interested in.
Well, I think that's why people small talk about the weather, right?
Thank goodness for the weather.
Thank goodness, I know.
Because we all experience it, and there's always something to say.
Exactly. The book has a lot of playful but profound ways to reconnect with your senses. So I want to recreate one of the experiments that you did in the book. It involves jelly beans.
Okay.
And we have some here.
Okay, so don't pick without looking.
Okay,
don't look at the picture.
Okay, I'm not going to look.
Okay, so hold your nose, plug your nose so you can't smell, and pop it in your mouth. And what you're probably tasting is very intense sweet, right? Just like sweet, but kind of a plain sweet.
Yep, totally sugary, but I have no idea.
Unplug your nose.
Oh, it's peach.
Yeah, so that's when you get the complex and all that, because you need your nose. And I think, people saw that during COVID, like you'd lose your sense of smell, and it would affect your sense of taste so strongly. Because they're so connected, people don't realize that. A lot of from flavor is taste plus smell. And without the smell, you only got the plain taste. You didn't get the complex, sophisticated, pure jelly bean flavor. Isn't that remarkable?
It's remarkable. And it happened to me. I had the original straight up COVID, lost my sense of smell and taste for months. When it finally came back, do you realize how much of an impact, how much joy tasting your food brought you? And when you couldn't have it, it was just kind of a mundane experience.
Right, well, a lot of people had to do things with texture or using the trigeminal nerve instead to try to get some sense of their food. Yeah.
It is a fascinating look, Gretchen, at how to experience your life. The book is called Life in Five Senses. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.